So hello from Green-Mopeds at Strawberry Hill. Just taking this new Model M for mother back from Richmond to our unit Strawberry Hill, so thought I'd give you a quick overview of what it's like. So a little bit about New themselves. So they're a Chinese manufacturer. It was the second largest crowdfunding project ever that enabled them to get going. Some of their principal backers are Microsoft, Vodafone, Google. So they've got some good money behind them and sort of ambitious plans. Apparently they've sold hundreds of thousands of these in the Far East, and they've just been available in the UK for a few weeks now. We were actually the first dealer to have them, and we managed to sell one actually before they turned up, so they've obviously got a bit of a reputation. As you can see, it's quite a nippy little bike for a 1200 watt motor that is underneath in the Bosch hub engine. They've matched that up with a Panasonic 8 kilo battery, and they say up to 100 kilometers, so 60 odd miles of range. I'm a little bit skeptical about the ranges quoted by anybody, so let's say 50 to be on the safe side. 50 miles, that's good for, you know, nipping around town and commuting and things like that. So 59 kilos is exceptionally light. The battery is 8 kilos of that, so if you took that out, you're talking about 50 kilos. So it's almost possible to carry this bike So you might not have noticed that, but you're probably hearing the indicators. There's an audible indicator alert. What it also does, though, is turn them off automatically if you're doing a turn of over 60 degrees. So quite a good feature. It's how many times have you turned and forgotten to do that, especially if you don't have an audible indicator. So the big thing about this bike that New are pushing is that it's smart mobility, as they call it. So there's an app with this bike that you enable for this specific bike through a QR code that comes on the box or in the box, and that registers your app to this bike. What it gives you is, well, the most useful feature is tracking, essentially. So if the bike is moved, taken away from you, or stolen, whatever, your phone will alert you. So, you know, one of the biggest issues in London right now is moped theft from a motorcycle perspective. And you know, I see that some people are, you know, coming out with trackers and all this. This comes with one built in. So there's a SIM card from Vodafone, which is why Vodafone are involved, that is enabling that part to happen. Obviously you need the app from Google and so forth, but a very useful feature. We've actually seen this in action. We were moving one of the bikes to an event and had it on the back of a van, and all through the journey we were being told that the bike is being moved. Obviously it was being moved on the back of the van, so clearly it works as a technology, but you have to therefore interpret what it's telling you. As you can see here, the dashboard is all digital. There's only 2 modes on this. Second mode is probably the one you're going to use most of the time once you get used to it. Mode 1 isn't the best to take off from a light with, because it does take a little bit of time to pick up, whereas mode 2 is obviously fine. So you can see here from the dashboard that it's kilometers. This one's in kilometers. We need to update the firmware to get it into miles, but you know, it's giving you your percentage of battery left, how far you've gone, etc, etc. For colours in this model, M is red, white, blue, grey and matte black. It's a 50cc equivalent from a license, so CBT, what have you. One of the other useful things it's doing, which more and more bikes are beginning to do, is give you regen on the braking. So, you know, between 6 and 10% back as you're braking to recoup some of that energy. But even with that, they're saying 100 kilometers, so 60 miles. There is actually a little symbol on the dashboard, I don't know if you can see it just here, disappeared there, which is telling you when it's doing it as well. So quite a good feature there. There aren't a lot of accessories available for this bike actually. There's just a top box, which currently in the UK you'd have to get from somebody else because they're not being imported right now. This bike has only been around for, like I said, 3 weeks. So if you wanted the top box, there are other European dealers who are doing them right now. The ones I found are in France, for example. With shipping it would be about £150 to add a top box. This is the only option on a screen. So if you're one of those people who want to, you know, get more of a deflection, more protection from the screen, then unfortunately this is the one you've got. As you can hear, it's very quiet, like a lot of these hub motorbikes. If it wasn't for the indicators, you wouldn't know this bike is going, and it certainly doesn't make any noise when it's stationary. Personally, I would say I prefer this one over the Lifan, which is almost the same sort of spec. That one is also 1200 watt Bosch. I think the biggest difference, or the biggest advantage this bike has over the Lifan is that, I think as I said in my review of the Lifan have taken a stock battery, lead acid battery shell, and put cells in it, whereas this, as you'll see from the website pictures or other reviews, this is like a custom made Panasonic. So, you know, they're making it to suit this bike rather than just repurposing some existing sort of technology. So as you can see, nipping along now at 43 kilometers, which is about 27, 28. You know, no hassle about that at all. And unlike the Model N, the seat on this isn't meant for two people. There are no pegs for a second person. So it is really meant for a single person, although, you know, I guess not having pegs isn't necessarily a reason not to have two people on it. But the seat has not got a ridge in it like you often get in bikes, as in, you know, the space is defined for the second person, which means you can sit as far back as you like, which is actually quite good if you're sort of taller. But it is, you know, it is a small bike. You'll see pictures of it next to an N, and you'll see that it is, you know, quite petite. So anyway, I hope you found that quick spin useful. Obviously more information on the website. The price is £1,900 after the grant, so that's the price you pay plus the OTR stuff that you'd have to add on. But if you need any more information on that, please contact us through our website. Thank you very much.